Good morning, friends. Your potential to become an officer in the armed forces is tested primarily by three methods in the service selection boards, and they are the psychological test, the group task, and the final interview. As part of psychological tests, you have primarily four things: thematic aptitude test, word association test, situation reaction test, and the self description. Today we will talk about thematic aptitude test, and which you normally talk as story writing. In the SSB you write stories twice. The first one is part of PP&DT in the screening test. And the second one is as part of thematic aptitude test of psychological test. In the picture perception and discussion test, you are given one story and thereafter you do the discussion on them in the group. However, on thematic aptitude test, you have to write 12 stories and you are given 4 minutes for each. Today we will talk about thematic aptitude test, in which you have to write 12 stories. As told earlier, you are given 4 minutes to write one story. Gentlemen, since it is 12 stories and you are under stress because of the time, it becomes very easy for the assessor to judge what type of qualities you are giving in those stories. First of all, I am going to give you a big secret which is never told to the students, and that is how the assessment is being done of your stories. Gentlemen, the assessor normally has a sheet in which there are two portions. On the left side are the negative qualities and on the right side are the positive qualities. The story number 1 to 12 is marked on both the sides. The assessor reads your story one by one, and whatever qualities you display in that story, they are marked in these columns. Like in story 1, if you find a negative quality in which you show lack of social adjustment, that is written against story number 1. And in the same story, if you display courage and social adaptability, that is shown in the positive side of the qualities against the story number 1. And the same way it is done for all 2 to 12 stories, both for negative and the positive qualities. In the end, he totals how many negative qualities were displayed and how many positive qualities were displayed in those 12 stories. Remember, if you have shown one quality in 12 stories, that one quality will still remain one only. And later on, these qualities what you have displayed here, they are checked against the other qualities which you have shown with the group tasking officer or in other tests which you have shown in the psychological test itself. Now let me show you where do 90% of the candidates go wrong and they don't even realize it that they are doing something wrong. Here in front of you is the assessment sheet of a girl called Ritu. See her negative qualities. She has shown 3 negative qualities, or maybe more than that: lack of courage, depression, and on the right side you see the positive qualities. In all her stories, she has mainly shown one quality: social adaptability. On the other hand, you see the assessment sheet of Vikram. He has also shown 3 negative qualities, but look at the positive qualities. Since he has a certain bent of mind, all his stories are mainly showing one quality only, and that is courage. And in the end, what happens is, depending upon your bent of mind, depending upon your upbringing, depending upon what is your personality, you end up displaying only 2 or 3 qualities in all your stories. If there is a girl, she'll try to show the qualities of some social adaptability, adjustment, parental care, and all those. If there is a boy, he will try to show the courage, determination, stamina. And in the end, you write 12 stories. However, the qualities displayed by you are only 3 or 4. Now, the question is, how should you go about that you do not do this mistake in your TAT? Gentlemen, the first and the basic thing which you must remember before you start preparation for the SSB is the set of these 15 officer-like qualities. These 15 officer-like qualities should be there on your fingertips. You must understand them while walking, sleeping, going anywhere, that these are the qualities which I need to display in my psychological test, in my group task, and in my interview. So, when you start writing the stories in your thematic aptitude test, make sure that you reflect 2 or 3 qualities in each story, and in the end, you have covered almost all the qualities after you have finished all the 12 stories. Not convinced? Seems difficult? You must understand that thematic aptitude tests are based upon the principle of stimulus and response. You have been given a stimulus in form of a hazy picture. You can derive any story, any meaning out of that and bring up a story in which you project the quality which you want to show in your own personality. I will give you certain examples on how to go about it. Just have a look at this picture. This is the stimulus which has been given to you. What do you see here? You can see 2 boys, or maybe it is 1 man and 1 boy. In the background you can see the rain. You can also see some mountain in which this boy is climbing. You can see the action which is being taken by this boy which is running, and there is some man or a boy who's pointing finger at him, and you can take it as a stimulus, that is giving directions. Hence, in this picture you can see around 5 or 6 stimuluses which you can use to build a story. Now let's see various responses which you can build based upon the stimuluses which have been given to you. The first one can be that the boy was poor in sports, due to which he used to face ridicule at school. One day he decided to change it and started practicing for school race. He worked very hard for 2 months, and under the coaching of his friend used to climb and run on a mountain near his house. He practiced and later on got selected in the school team and won a medal for his school. Here it shows the determination quality of that boy. The second response could be on the quality of courage. Here you can build a story that on the other side of the mountain there was a lake, and this boy heard somebody drowning there and the shouts. He immediately ran to that place, and since he knew the swimming, he jumped inside and saved that boy. So this will display the quality of his courage. And lastly, you can also show the quality of sense of responsibility here. Here you can build a story that the man is a flood official, and he told the boy that there is likely to be a flood because of the rain which is coming there. And there were some people who are living on the side of the hill and they were affected. Ram immediately heard it and ran to those houses and told everybody about the flood and saved them from the impending danger. So here you have seen that with one stimulus we have been able to build 2 or 3 stories and show different qualities in them. Now let's have a look at another picture. Here is some stimulus given to you. You see one boy, you see one study table, a chair, some books. This boy is wearing a shirt and tie and he is thinking. Now think, with these stimuluses what has been given in the picture, what all stories can you make out of it so that you can project the qualities which you want. The first story which can be built is like the boy was poor in studies, however he decided to work hard. He worked very hard, studied every day, morning and night, and later on with his hard work became good in studies and got a job in a good company. This will show his determination. Another story you can build upon is about his reasoning ability, about his courage of conviction. Here you can say that a boy was from very traditional setup and everybody wanted him to become a priest, as that was the norm in his family. However, he decided to change, studied very hard, convinced his parents, showed them the merits of working in a government job. He was given a scholarship, he studied in a residential school, and with his courage, conviction and reasoning ability, he was able to convince his parents and became a very good diplomat. Another thing you can build upon is about his intelligence. You can say that he was studying in some engineering college, he built a project on artificial intelligence, he was awarded for this, and that helped save a lot of lives later on when his project or when his work became commercial. Here, I am telling you in short only. However, you can build 2, 3 or 4 stories from the same stimulus and make sure that all the qualities which have been given to you in the part of the OLQs, you are able to display them in your thematic aptitude test. And in the end, if something is still left, you can use the blank slide to build a story in which you project the quality which you have not been able to do till now. So remember the 15 officer-like qualities and show them in the 12 stories which you built in your thematic aptitude test. Other important things which you need to remember about story writing are as follows. First of all is about neutral stories. Most of you sometimes tend to write neutral stories in which you just write a story which a normal person will also do and which does not actually give out any good or bad quality about that person. So make sure avoid the neutral stories because that is what everyone else will also do and that is not something which we are looking in an officer. Always make sure that you give some positive quality in whatever story you write. The second point is about negative stories. Most of you start inventing problem or trouble when it is not shown in the story. Don't assume an accident when it is not shown. Don't assume a social problem when there is nothing. So try to stay positive and build a positive story on whatever has been given to you. Next thing is about staying practical. Don't try to build fairy tale stories in which one goes to Olympics and wins an Olympic medal or crosses the Atlantic after learning swimming in his village. So make practical stories, make simple stories. However, each story should give 1 or 2 qualities. Another thing which you should avoid is creating too many qualities in one story. That shows that a person is confused and he does not know what to do. So at the maximum, just restrict yourself to 2 or 3 qualities in one story. And the last and the most important thing is about time management. Make sure that you don't write more than what is required. Make sure that you practice how much you can write in 3 minutes and write only that much. I hope friends, this video has given you idea on how to prepare about your thematic aptitude test and how to write the stories. Please do watch my other videos, especially on officer-like qualities and how to prepare for SSBs in my channel, which you can see on your screen. And if you like this video, please share to the maximum. Thanks for watching.